Against the Spread is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Tony, go ahead.
Thank you, Roy. We're starting off in Thursday night football. Got Seahawks traveling over to the Arizona Cardinals, and the Cardinals are not that good. Seahawks, surprisingly good, Dan. That's a team that when I was asking Diana, I thought she was going to mention the Seahawks yesterday, saying that's a team that nobody's really talking about. The Seahawks are an interesting team. Sam Darnold playing well, Jackson Smith and Jigba, wide receiver 1, playing awesome. Okay, defense playing tough. I know they haven't really played anybody, but this is their first division game. And the Cardinals, we all know, suck. So much so, Seahawks are a 1.5 favorite against the Arizona Cardinals at the Big Toaster. Okay? We're going to go Seahawks -1.5 against the Cardinals. Sam Darnold, over 2 touchdowns, by the way. Lock that in. That was against the spread.
I'm going with Virginia.
Good right there. I'm surprised you weren't distracted there. Why don't you do it back to him?
I'm going with Virginia. I like the Who's. That offense can move the ball. They had one game where they had 700 yards of offense. I'm a big fan of Chandler Morris. From TCU to North Texas and now to Whoville. I think this is a scary night game for FSU. They may win, but it's going to be one of those shootout type of games. Nothing is given in the ACC. Everything is earned. I like the Who's +7.5 against the spread.
You are the biggest national proponent of Virginia football that I have heard this century.
Wow, you haven't heard that their offense can light it up?
You have been very big on Virginia football, and I don't hear a lot of people saying what you're saying about Virginia football. Perhaps Jessica will say some of the same. Mike Gundy, I've been telling you that for the last 2 years, Mike Gundy has been in charge of what seems like the worst big football program in America. He has been fired, and while many of you cite his "I'm a man, I'm 40" speech, I think he had one to rival it. So we're going to play both of them here. Let's play both sounds, but play whichever one you want first, Roy, whether it's "I'm a man, I'm 40" or whether what I believe to be just as bad a press conference that Mike Gundy gave.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Oklahoma is .08, and Ollie was 0.1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life.
That sounds like justifying it and getting into the legal part of it. Like he wasn't going to do either one.
He doesn't want to do the legal part, Dan.
But he ended up doing both.
That's 4,000 beers.
And let's play his other more famous press conference, the one that will be his entire career's remembrance, even though he occasionally won 10 games, none of which you remember.
If your child goes down the street and somebody makes fun of him because he dropped a pass in a pickup game or says he's fat and he comes home crying to his mom, you'd understand. But you haven't had that. But someday you will. And when your child comes home, you'll understand. If you want to go after an athlete, one of my athletes, you go after one that doesn't do the right things. You don't downgrade him because he does everything right and may not play as well on Saturday. And you let us make that decision. That's why I don't read the newspaper. Because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage. Attacking an amateur athlete for doing everything right. And then you want to write articles about guys that don't do things right and downgrade them, the ones that do make plays. Are you kidding me? Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Welcome, Jessica. What were your thoughts on Mike Gundy being fired? It was a couple of games late.
He was a lot more entertaining when Oklahoma State was good than it's been the last couple years. But I wouldn't even say it was a couple of games late, Dan. Well, I guess I would say that. It was like 4 games late. I don't really understand why they did this now on a Tuesday during a game week and not last year when he agreed to restructure his deal and clean house of coaches. Like, it just seemed like the writing was on the wall last year. They went winless in the Big 12, and I really don't understand the timing of all of this. It kind of reeks of dysfunction.
Well, they just lost to Tulsa, and then before that, but they lost to Tulsa at home. They got blown out by Tulsa at home, and they lost the week before. Who'd they lose to the week before? Because they lost another game where they're not competitive.
They got destroyed by Oregon in embarrassing fashion.
And it was after Mike Gundy made comments about NIL, which has been sort of the issue the last few seasons, that Oklahoma State has not been competitive in NIL. But yes, Dan, like the Tulsa game was actually a close game, which is almost worse that you almost could have beaten Tulsa. Those schools are very close to one another. But yeah, I just don't really, they got blown out so many times last year. Like I really just don't understand why do it on a Tuesday when you played on Friday. Now you have a game on Saturday. Your offensive coordinator is taking over as the interim head coach. It's very strange.
Zaslow, are you going to be at Georgia, Alabama this weekend?
Yeah, I'm in Athens this weekend. I'm very excited, actually. That's going to be awesome.
Jessica, do you feel like you know what Alabama is?
I don't feel like I know what any team is yet. I do know that I'm more skeptical on Virginia's offense than Mike is. I will say the caliber of defense Virginia has played so far this season, and yes, Mike, they have put up a lot of points against William and Mary and Coastal Carolina, but Florida State's defense right now in DFEI is top 40 versus NC State, which is the next best defense that Virginia's played this season, ranking somewhere around 77 at the moment. And Virginia was able to score 31 points on them, but I'm a little bit more skeptical they're able to do quite as much damage against Florida State, but remains to be seen. Maybe you'll be right.
So Alabama last year beat Georgia. It was an awesome game in Tuscaloosa. That was like the last time we felt good, or Alabama fans felt good about Kalen DeBoer, because the very next week they lost to Vanderbilt. If they win in Athens this weekend, Jess, like, what do you think the conversation starts to sound like around the Alabama head coach? Honestly,
I think that it will be a lot of Georgia's not that good. I mean, like, we already saw Georgia down to the wire with Tennessee last weekend. I also think that if you go back to last year, Jalen Milroe won my September Heisman last year. He is an electric college football player. But even the second half against Georgia last year, Alabama let them all the way back into the game, and it took heroics from Ryan Williams and Milroe to ultimately win that game. So there was a lot of skepticism, I think, that Alabama was ready in the first half. They did a lot of scripted stuff well. They had a really good game plan, but then when Georgia was able to overcome some of their issues offensively, Alabama didn't have a great response to that. So I do think Alabama has a long way to go before the Kalen DeBoer doubters are proven wrong.
Georgia's a small favorite at home. Kirby Smart has beaten Alabama. How many? One time?
Not a lot.
Has he beaten? What is he against Alabama?
One in four, maybe.
No, I think it might be. I think it might be like one
in the regular
7.
Season.
I think he's been pretty bad against Alabama, and I'm not remembering the victory off the top of my head.
Well, but it's also Saban. Yeah. Saban's gone. The window's open now, Dan. Saban was Kirby's foil to a lot of people's minds. So there's really no excuse now.
So Milroe won your September Heisman last year. Who's winning your September Heisman this year? And could it be John Mateer, who just broke his hand and left OU in a pretty tough situation?
It's actually Diego Pavia. He's still the front runner for the September Heisman. But yeah, John Mateer's injury is not a good one, obviously. It seems like he could be back by the start of November. It really is a bummer for the Red River shootout, whatever we call it now, because those are two teams that I would have loved to see play each other at full strength. That's Texas and Oklahoma. So if he does come back and Oklahoma can sort of keep it together over the next few games, I think, their defense is really going to have to step up and make things miserable for South Carolina's offense. South Carolina's offensive line has already struggled this season, and we saw Oklahoma's defense really attack Auburn's quarterback last weekend. So they're going to have to really have some standout defensive performances, which of course is that's Brent Venables' baby. I think that they're up to the task. But the other issue for Oklahoma's offense so far this season has been inconsistency in the run game, and it's difficult when your backup quarterback's coming in now. He did play a few games last year, Michael Hawkins Jr. But if you don't have a run game to really lean on and rely on, that makes his job a lot more difficult. So I think Oklahoma's going to have to figure out some answers there and just play really, really great defense.
They're both going on at the same time this weekend, Jess. It's Saturday evening. If you could only watch one, Georgia, Alabama, or Penn State, Oregon.
This is what the quad box is all about, Zaz. I don't have to ever make that decision ever again.
What year is that question from?
Yeah, like
Well, don't you like
never have to
watching the
decide.
game with sound?
Let me rephrase. Pretend this is a question from 2016.
I don't know who you impersonating there, not me.
I don't know. I think I would probably choose Penn State, Oregon, to be honest with you. It's a whiteout game. Penn State really hasn't been tested at all this year. Oregon also hasn't played like a top 25 team yet. I want to see their quarterback against a good defense, Dante Moore. It's a tough road game for Oregon, who I think I don't know what the spread is on that game. There's a lot of games this weekend, Zaz, where the road team is favored by enough points that I'm like, I'm curious about that. Like USC and Illinois. So Illinois just got blown out by 50 points, 60 points to Indiana last weekend. But USC is only a 6.5 point favorite going to Urbana-Champaign this weekend. So, like, there's a few games like that. Notre Dame at Arkansas. The line in some places down to 3.5, which to me indicates Notre Dame's best defensive player, Leonard Moore. Maybe he's not going to play this weekend. He's had a little bit of an ankle. That's really bad for Notre Dame's defense, who really needs him to be able to play. So I'm kind of that's what I'm going to be watching this weekend is some of the road favorites going in across cross-country trips, seeing how they fare, places like Oregon and Penn State.
Yeah, USC had a late-night game last week, and now they're kicking things off with a noon start in Champaign. That's
Ridiculous.
probably what the line is taken into account. I was really into this Notre Dame-Arkansas game before the season because I thought that could be a tricky spot for Notre Dame, and now I'm even more interested because Arkansas got caught looking ahead. I know Memphis is a good football team, but the way that game landed in their schedule was awfully nice for Memphis.
Arkansas shouldn't have lost that game.
They shouldn't have,
they blew
but
it.
Memphis is a solid team. But a lot of people are citing look-ahead factor. It was sandwiched in between two big games. What do you think?
You think Arkansas's running back was looking ahead in the last 3 minutes when he fumbled inside the 5-yard line?
I'm saying the reason why the game was close was because, Arkansas was potentially – I mean, these are all cliches. I don't actually know. I doubt they were all like, hey, we can't worry.
You told me at the beginning of the show today that you know ball and I don't know ball.
No, I didn't say I know ball. I just said you don't.
You said you know ball.
I mean, I know more ball than you. I don't know what you're doing right now.
You don't know more ball than me.
No, it wasn't just
Says
you.
he
It was
doesn't
just-
go to you for ball.
Yeah, it was Jeremy too. I don't go to either of you for ball. But what do you make of this game, Jess? Because Notre Dame's defense, I know their offense is scoring crazy. CJ Carr seems like the truth, but that defense only gets more scary when they give up 30 points at Purdue.
Yeah, well, one of those touchdowns was in garbage time. Like we talked about this extensively in my podcast, The Echoes, with Mike Golick Jr. Notre Dame overall, their coverage hasn't been what was expected coming into the season. They had to start 2 true freshmen last weekend, because of injury, and a redshirt freshman at safety because of a targeting penalty from the game before. So they were playing a little bit inexperienced in the secondary, which is a position group that was excellent for them last year. And again, like I said, Leonard Moore being out, and he's probably the best corner in college football. That's a really tough loss to overcome for Notre Dame. So they really have to figure out what they're doing in the secondary. And I think that starts up front with the pass rush. They've got to be able to figure out how to get some pressure on the quarterback. Taylon Green for Arkansas is a really exciting player to watch. He does make mistakes, but he can move and he can exploit you if you're not disciplined. So I think it's a tough task for Notre Dame defensively, but you're right, Mike. Arkansas's defense has also let teams run the ball well. Notre Dame has 2 awesome running backs, Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love. CJ Carr has been great. The wide receivers have been really solid. The offensive line's gotten better every week. So I'm taking the overs in every Notre Dame game until proven otherwise. I mean, this was a team last year that shut teams down defensively. That has not been the case so far this year. And granted, they have played 2 top 25 teams to start the year and did well enough against Purdue to blow them out. So, take it with a grain of salt.
You got beef with any top 25 teams right now?
I don't have beef with anyone ever, Zaz. What are you talking about?
I mean, like the rankings. You got beef with any of the rankings?
That's week 4. I don't have beef. Well, I save my beef to like week 10, and then I get really beefy.
Do you have a way to get intrigued about Clemson UNC?
I'm scheduled for that.
The most exciting thing about Clemson UNC is that they're doing something before the game that everyone should do all the time. They announced there's like this concert series going on at North Carolina this year, and Ludacris would be performing before the game. The kickoff time was TBD. Everyone thought, maybe it'll be, primetime kickoff because it's Clemson and UNC. No, they got a noon slot. So Ludacris will supposedly be performing at 10 a.m. This is what time all concerts should start, Dan. 10 a.m. You're in there, you're drinking your coffee, maybe you're still in your jammies.
Great
the
take.
concert ends, you go to the game, and then you go home and you go to bed. Why aren't we doing this more often?
Should I go to the Ludacris concert?
Yes.
I think I'm going to be there.
Yes.
But 10 a.m.
Yeah.
10 a.m. is too early for a Ludacris
No.
concert.
I don't know.
No.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Is 10 a.m. too early for a Ludacris
Luda.
concert?
Ludicrous.
Luda.
Give me that energy.
We need to do more 10 a.m. concerts. Like I saw that there's like some bar that opened in New York where it opens at like 8 o'clock and then people come and dance and then they leave at like 10 o'clock. I need to figure out where this thing is because that is my timeline. You eat an early dinner, early bird special dance, 6:30. You go out, you dance, you have a couple drinks. You're in bed by 11 o'clock. I can't think of a single thing that sounds better than that.
You are a young person. How is it that you are a fossilized mummy inside?
I love sleeping. I love my bed. I have the most comfortable bed
Sleep is so
in the
good.
entire world. I have just like an amazing setup. I have wonderful sheets. I have a wonderful duvet, Dan. It just feels so good when I get into bed at night. And I think about it from the minute I wake up. I think about how cozy I'm going to be come 10:30. And these stupid 11 p.m. Eastern Big Ten conference games are cramping my style. I hate it. I hate staying up to watch WNBA playoff games. I hate all of it. I want to be in bed, falling asleep to the Hawaii game. And I wake up maybe in like the second quarter. It's like, 12:45 or something. And then I fall back asleep. And then I wake up again. And then I fall back asleep.
You're
That's how
thinking
it should
about your
be.
bed while you're in your bed in the morning. You're thinking about getting
Yes.
back into your bed at night.
Literally, like I wake up and I'm like, this feels so good. I can't wait to be back here in 12 hours.
Jess, what did you make of Whit Weeks and Lane Kiffin's daughter hard launching?
Wait. Okay, I have a prop. Hold on. Stay there.
Okay.
Vamp.
All right, we're going to be right here.
For those that don't know,
where could we go? We're doing
For those that don't
vamp.
know, Whit Weeks, who's a tremendous player for LSU, their team captain, he decided to announce to the world that he is dating Lane Kiffin's daughter, and it just so happens to be game week between LSU and Ole Miss. So the head games have started early. I think that Lane Kiffin has already said take the over on social media, saying that he's got to run it up on that
like
LSU
it.
defense. So
He's
the
so
banter
weird.
has already begun. And today there is a special on ESPN, The Many Lives of Lane Kiffin. I might actually be in on that because
It looks good. I saw some clips.
I mean, he's had a remarkably interesting career and life, so I'm dialed.
Is a coach allowed to tweet out "take the over"?
Chris, I had the same question. Like, that can't be. That just certainly, there must be some sort of rules about that. Mike, I don't know if you said this while I was getting my prop. Do you know what Weeks' nickname is?
I do not know his nickname.
Well, let me show you. He's the Honky Badger.
That is
So-
great. Wow.
If you guys remember, I said last year Lehman was producing that SEC Any Given Saturday show that was on Netflix that came out a couple months ago.
Which in
He
no way
spent-
has influenced your Diego Pavia takes.
No, not at all. I mean, Lee barely talked to Diego Pavia. That's not true. Total full disclosure. He shot a lot with Vanderbilt. The Honky Badger is the nickname of Whit Weeks. He wears like a very slutty crop top. He's like a white middle linebacker. So we have this koozie now, courtesy of the Weeks brothers. I'm not sure which one. There's 3 of them on LSU, Dan. I'm not sure which one gave this to Lehman, but he shot some stuff with them at their
The Honey
childhood home,
Badger's
so.
retired, right? He's not in the league anymore. The Honey Badger
He
is
was
out
on
of the
he was on
NFL?
Amazon pregame coverage. I was impressed with him, and Derek Carr got high marks there too.
Last question before we let you go here. And again, The Echoes is the name of her podcast for all your Notre Dame information. Sister Jean retired.
Retired from what?
From her job being
Still with us.
the basketball lady. Here's the thing, Dan. So yesterday, have you guys talked about the Rapture yet?
A little bit yesterday. How old is Sister Jean? Is she
106, I believe.
That's too old.
Yesterday, I
That's too
saw
old for
the
somebody.
quote graphic come up that she was retiring, and I thought that she had passed away. And I am a jackass, so I wanted to be the first person to the group chat with the Rapture joke. And then I realized after the fact, it just said retired. So I felt really terrible about that. I guess I would feel worse if she did actually pass away. But I mean, she's 106. Like, she's obviously had an incredible life. So anyways, shout out to Sister Jean, not raptured. Yeah, I guess my beef with the top 25s as, let's bring it full circle, Illinois still being ranked after losing by 50 points is kind of silly. But
I'm with you. I don't think you could be ranked if you lose to anyone by 50.
yeah, that's a lot of points.
I thought you didn't do beef until week 10. What happened? You changed your opinion.
This is like, what's it called? Like impossible chicken or whatever. This is like fake beef. Like it's vegan beef. It's made out of like, I don't know, seitan, whatever that
Go
stuff's
on.
called.
That's my.
I don't think it's called seitan.
Seitan is Seitan. I don't know how to pronounce that word. You guys don't know anything about vegan food. Don't
I
scold
don't,
me.
but I
Dan
would
does,
say seitan would probably be bad for branding. I would say maybe seitan.
Seitan,
Miroslav?
perhaps.
Mike Ryan,
It's a wheat derivative.
what is your take on being 106 years old?
That's too old for somebody. People shouldn't be that old.
Time to die.
My grandma always says, "Put a bullet in my head if I live that long," which is very inappropriate.
Especially like these last few years, like Sister Jean, like she lived through COVID, and you just got to be like,
She's lived through a
we're
lot
not
more
exactly-
than COVID.
We're not exactly like
She
ending
was around
this
for
on
the
an
original
upper.
COVID.
Well, she was just retired. She's on the back nine now.
Spanish flu.
She lived through the bubonic plague. COVID's a disease come lately
And all that
compared to what
Tylenol
she
she's
lived
probably
through.
had.
It's crazy that she's lived long enough for them to invent germ theory and then also rebuke germ theory again.
I mean, holy crap.
That is Jessica's grandmother.
Sister Jean?
That is not Sister Jean. Good seeing you, Jessica.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for being on with us. I want to get to a handful of things here, including something that The Onion is reporting, but we've got to get to...
I love them.
Yeah, it's a pretty good report. I'm going to get it from my phone now. But first, I need the Ray Hudson call of the day because you guys think I'm going to forget about this, and we're going to do it every day until...
We don't need the full open, though.
until-
We're
yeah, we
hoping
do.
you
The
forget
whole
about
thing.
it.
Every day until the World Cup.
Ray Hudson. 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 Of the day. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Of the day. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Call of the day. What? Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Call of the day. Ray Hudson. 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 This is what Dan wanted. This is what Dan wanted. He wanted a call of the day. He wanted Ray Hudson call of the day. What? Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson call of the day. Hudson. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Call of the day. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Call of the day. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson. Call of the day. This is what Dan wanted. 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 Hudson Cup. This is what Dan wanted.
I'd like the call now as well, though.
Oh, okay.
That's what he does. This doesn't get any better world football than this, people. Xavi sets the table beautifully. And Lionel Messi once again just capitalizes like only Lionel can. Trickier than a monkey up a monkey tree. Messi, Messi, Messi. Pure scientific football again.
This is a report from The Onion, Dateline, Indianapolis, with observers noting that the tragic development evidently has yet to affect the show's content in any way. Reports confirmed Monday that no one working at the Pat McAfee show seems to have noticed that co-host A.J. Hawk has been dead for the last 3 days. Quote,
I saw that. That was funny.
He's got like blood coming out of his nose, and he's like gaunt.
hold on a minute. I got to read more from the report. Quote, what's his face has been dead since last week, but look, none of the other guys are even aware of it. Pat's just going on about the Ravens' run defense while the poor guy's slumped over and decomposing in his chair. Longtime viewer Russell Barker said of Hawk's bloated, putrefying corpse, acknowledging that the deceased talk show personality's glassy, empty stare has grown even glassier and emptier since his passing. Quote, you'd think someone would have picked up on the fact that he's not blinking or moving, but Pat and the Toxic Table Boys are cutting it up with Kirk Herbstreit like it's a regular show, or maybe they're just tuning him out like they always do, end quote. At press time, sources reported that a rat had begun gnawing on Hawk's face as McAfee questioned whether Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy would be able to adjust to pro-level pass rushes.
That's a good question, though.
I'm surprised more people haven't picked up on this story.
Dan, I hate to break this to you because we're having so much fun, but The Onion is satirical. Oh, come on, man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I got
checked.
ball sacked.
Yeah, he's alive.
Oh, that's, well, I'm not going to say that's too bad.
I almost trapped you.
Tony, I've got some problems here with your guys' adult friends. Your guys' adult friends seem to have some judgment issues. I'm worried about Chris Cody, who's going away for the weekend on a buddy trip. I think he's a little old for that, and I think his friends are too immature for that. And I'm worried about the judgment of Tony's friends as well, because one of your friends has done something bad this week.
One of my friends, Dan, has done something unspeakable. Not even bad, unspeakable, okay? And he's a great kid. I love this kid, okay? Shout out to Steven, big fan of his, right? I like him. Him and his wife had a daughter. Her daughter's birthday, September 28th, which just also happened to be Sunday. So instead of, like any rational person would do, as the head of your household and being like, hey, we're setting the date on a Saturday, they're having the party on a Sunday. On a Sunday, okay. Maybe a 10 o'clock birthday. She's a year old. You got a 10 o'clock birthday, 11 o'clock birthday. You're there for a couple hours.
Love that when you're done by noon.
Exactly. Bing, bang. All right, we're done. We're going to go to the Carolina Ale House, watch the games. I'm like, no. What we're going to do is Sunday, 3 o'clock p.m.
What? Now that's a problem.
And I'm like,
3 o'clock?
My wife put it in the calendar.
That's
and I
a
was
witching
like,
hour.
Are they calling it the witching hour party?
I was like, wait a second, babe, hold on.
It should be called bull.
Well,
my God.
I'm looking at the thing, and I'm like, well, wait, Sunday's her first birthday party at 3:30. Why is that in my calendar? She's like, yeah, that's when they're having the party. It's at a park. No. And I'm like, at a park?
At a park? There's no TVs at a park.
No TVs at a park. And I'm like, so it's Sunday. It's 3 o'clock in the middle of all of the great games that are happening. And then on top of that, we got Ravens Chiefs starting at 4:25. And I'm going to be where?
You can't go.
At a park in Westchester?
Don't go.
Hot as balls?
Why you gotta go?
Because they're part of our friend
Ball
group.
and chain.
Well, you said it.
Part of your friend group?
Part of our friend group.
Not part of your friends.
Jenny's friends with his wife.
That sounds like a Jenny friend show up thing.
Yeah,
like
with the
Jenny,
big
Jenny's attendance more required than Tony's attendance. Tony's got a job. Honey, I got a job.
Agreed.
I mean, it's Ravens Chiefs. It's a Waterloo game.
And on top of that, in the 1 p.m. slot, Eagles Bucks.
A Waterloo game? You've got it
Yes.
as a Waterloo game?
Yes. That's right, Dan. 3 consecutive weeks of saying Waterloo game.
What are you expecting from the Chiefs? Because you've been yelling at me for 3 weeks about the Chiefs.
I'm expecting the Chiefs to do what they usually do against Lamar Jackson, and that's win. Lamar Jackson
Really?
is 1-5 in his career against the Kansas City Chiefs.
1-3 Ravens?
Yeah. Well, you want to take that same tone and say 1-3 Chiefs? There's one team of our generation, and it would be far more shocking for that team to be the 1-3 team, the 1-3 team Chiefs. That'd be absurd to me. That'd be crazy.
You know what's crazy? Having a birthday party at 3 o'clock on a Sunday when we have that massive game. On top of that, the other game in the 4 o'clock slate, Colts-Rams, which have you said, big game.
I don't want to do spoilers, but I told you that already.
I think I can compete with Tony in terms of friends doing things that we don't like them to do. Because I'm traveling. Dan painted it as a boys' trip. This is a couple's trip going away from one of my oldest friends' 40th birthdays.
Like age-wise old?
He's turning 40. Okay. Yes.
So oldest friends. So.
Well, no, like one of my longest friends. Apologies for
why
that.
didn't you say longest?
Anyways, so we're going on a cruise, okay? And I have this thing when I go on cruises. I get the drink package. Anytime I see a group with matching shirts, you do a shot. Oh. And I love this game. I'm going to be that group this weekend. They're doing matching shirts. We got sent to my house yesterday. No. It says, "Blame happy 40th. What happens on the cruise stays on the cruise." Like, we're going to be those people the first day of the cruise wearing the matching shirts. and I've always loathed this. And it's this one friend. It's I'm going to call him by name. It's Matt and his wife. They did this for his bachelor party when we did Epcot around the world. It's the only friends of mine that I've
Is
ever
it
had.
Matt or is it his wife?
I like if you really want to get to the weeds of it, I don't think Matt's doing this. Yeah. But it's matching shirts, and I don't want to be wearing them.
All right, I need to ask you something first about this drink package, because this is always a debate for me when we go on cruises. How much do you have to drink in a day to feel like, okay, this was worth it?
I think the general line is anywhere from 8 to 11. Yeah. And the boy
9.5 drinks is the line.
And the boy is starting. We're starting at 10 a.m. by the pool. So, like, this is not an issue. If you're a Cody, this is not a problem for you.
Start earlier.
I'm robbing the place.
Well, the cruise, are you coming to work on Monday, or are you going to be off next week? Like it's a one-day cruise?
This is a cruise out of Port Canaveral, so I'm traveling up to Orlando. I will not be in Monday because of that.
So how many days are you on this cruise?
We leave Friday afternoon, ports Monday morning, and then I drive back.
So for the weekend, you're going to have at least 30 drinks is what you're saying.
You want me to try to count? Because I think I'll smash that over.
Please try to count. I would like to see that.
Well, I can see. You ever do this move? I kind of feel pride and shame when you look at the day. Because the way it works on your drink, you get a bill, and it's all $0, but it's like it tells you every bar you got to drink at.
Hypothetically 17.
Like, I'm telling you, on a good day, like on Saturday when we hit Coco K, like I'm talking 20. I'm thinking 20.
What number would it have to be for you to be a little bit like, that was a lot?
Over 25, and I'm like, that's crazy.
25 drinks in a day?
I mean, the apple martini doesn't fall far from the tree on this one. Like, these guys, they're the only thing that the Codys like more than a drink is a bargain. So they're going to make sure to get their money.
And both of them together?
Man, don't sell yourself short there, pal.
I'm telling you, I know it sounds crazy, 20 drinks. You start at 10 a.m., the way you're ordering these drinks, I'll take a shot here. Like, you can get to 15 before, 4 p.m.
Fellas can drink on this show. Fellas can drink.
No, but
we like drinks.
I mean, 15 drinks. No, that's going to feel bad. You're going to be useless to us next week. Just totally useless. I want to give you guys some football stats, and I want you guys to tell me which one of these you find most interesting, okay? Derrick Henry has 2 fourth-quarter fumbles this season. Before that, he had 2 fourth-quarter fumbles in 136 games. The Giants, while they're in the division of the Eagles, who have won 19 of 20,
it's a good team.
The Giants are 3-17 since the start of last season, and since Daboll started 7-2. He's 11-33-1. So he has done nothing since the initial start, where he made us all think that Daniel Jones was good for a while, and then we wandered away and are like, it's not good, and then he's back to being good again.
MVP.
And Ashton Genty, 68% of the time this season, he's being hit behind the line of scrimmage. He's breaking tackles. He's got 150 yards after contact, but it's always contact in the backfield. 3 out of 4 plays, Ashton Genty's getting the ball, and he's getting hit before he gets to the line of scrimmage.
He definitely hates his life, right?
That offensive line, Mina and others thought the Raiders were going to be good at offense. They got Pete Carroll, they got Geno Smith, they got Tom Brady, and they can't do anything.
Geno's up there in yards.
Yeah, because they're so far behind. He's constantly chucking it up. I'm kind of shocked at how sideways this has gone for the Raiders in 2 weeks.
What are your thoughts on which of those stats was the most interesting one?
I think the Genty. I mean, it seems like a miserable existence if you're Ashton Genty through 3 games.
We were all so certain. This guy, I know he doesn't have the pro body type, but we were all certain watching college football is that guy's really, really good. And if there's ever an argument to pick a running back high, it's Genty. But then I do remember the photos of him at the Heisman ceremony, and he is so much smaller than all the other guys. I'm curious to see how this is going to look in the NFL. So far, it doesn't look great, but it doesn't look great because he's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, because Dan mentioned he is breaking tackles. He's just not going to look the same kind of dynamic if he's getting hit that often in the backfield.
The other thing in this sport that I think is either undercovered or covered poorly, okay? Lane Johnson left the game the other day for the Eagles, and they had 10 yards on the next 6 drives because Lane Johnson is enormously important to that football team. And I don't think we talk about offensive linemen enough. I don't think when I say Trent Williams, you know what I'm saying. When I say Lane Johnson, you know what I'm saying. But after that, you don't think of dominant offensive linemen. And the idea that the Eagles would lose Lane Johnson and a team that has won 19 of 20 for the next 6 drives would get a total of 10 yards because they can't do very much if Lane Johnson's not out there mauling everybody.
We don't know what we're watching. We don't know how to evaluate quarterback play. We don't know the routes, so we don't know how good a receiver is. We're doing our best with the information that we have, and we don't even have a live all-22 most of the cases. It is a little confusing to me, though, how in a game of real estate acquisition, we choose to ignore general units because who cares? Like individual, like it's hard to tell like what a guard does, I guess.
They pull.
Yeah, they can pull and sometimes they push. But individual units should absolutely be talked about way more. Like the Eagles' offensive line unit gets talked about a lot. They don't have Jason Kelsey, so less so now. But it's the game. They literally put a ball where they think you move the line of scrimmage to, and a lot of teams base their identity on literally just doing that. We are going to push our way down the field, and it opens everything up. It opens everything up for the quarterback. It makes every other player on the field that much better, and we just choose to ignore it.
If you put importance on every single unit on a football team, are the Eagles' offensive line the best unit in football?
I love that take. Yes.
Like receiver, quarterback room, DBs, linebackers, across the board.
The single most important unit in the sport. Pro
so you're
NFL.
asking, is the Eagles' offensive line better at what they do than the best quarterback in the NFL?
Than everything.
Better than Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen? I think the Eagles' offensive line over the last few years has been better at its job than even Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes have been at their individual job.
I raise you the Bengals wide receivers.
It's a good room.
Yeah, but Burrow's out, and all of a sudden, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins had one catch last week.
When you guys talk about guard play, I was trying not to be a prisoner of the moment during that University of Miami, Florida game when I said, Brockemeyer, that's the worst game I've ever seen a center play because I'm not watching the center. And so I'm not ever noticing what the hell the center's doing. I'm like, why does he keep getting penalties? Why can't he snap the ball on time? Why is the center getting multiple false starts?
Grades out really high for them. I don't know what I'm watching. Hey folks, it's Mike Ryan, and it's also football season. That's right, things just kicked off. I celebrated a big dub with my friends and my trusty Miller Lite right there beside me because Miller Time is the secret ingredient to football time. Miller Time makes everything a good time. I love Miller Lite. You know why? Because Miller Lite is brewed for flavor with simple ingredients, rich toffee notes, and that iconic golden color. And here's a kicker, folks. In its 50th year of existing, it's just 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. The original light beer since 1975 and still hidden 5 decades later. Whether you're at the game or at your home on your couch with your friends, put out a nice little cold cooler of Miller Lite and make sure the drinks keep coming because it is football time and you want that beer that hits different. Miller Lite, great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/stand to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
You're pathetic. You had to get in there with that. He grades out really high. You had to have the first words on the show and the last words on the show on the University of Miami. You disgust me.
I was just trying to echo your point in that we don't know what we're seeing. Because if you ask me, I'm like, what? You got to snap the ball. Well, that's the one thing I know you're supposed to do, but don't snap it early.
That's right.
And then they're like, no, they like him a lot. He's really good. He grades out so high.
Why did you make me somebody who was wearing a cowboy hat and a belt buckle and cowboy boots, pointing at my television, talking like I'm Larry the Cable Guy?
When it comes to the center, they're supposed to call out protections to the quarterback. Most people don't know that. Center's job, snap the ball to like 90% of folks.
Where's the mic?
I did a South Beach session with Vince Wilfork, and we were just talking about how thankless that job is, because I know we say that quarterback is the hardest position in the sport, and it is mentally, maybe all of sports, but physically there can't be a worse job than being the nose tackle. And I was just talking to him about the idea, because Bill Belichick says that's the best defensive lineman I've ever coached. He also says that's the best leader that I had, and he had Tom Brady on his team. So I'm talking to Wilfork about, did you ever find, because he was always double teamed, did you ever find that any one man had something about him that you were like, man, this is a lot? And he's like, Nick Mangold. Like Mangold was somebody who didn't need any help when he was blocking me, and he was the only one who didn't need any help.
I would love to see a study on individual IQ per position, because I've been told by people that play the game pretty routinely that outside of quarterback, the second most involved player on the field in terms of what you have to know is the center.
The Wonderlic test has those stats where the average score by position scores X on the Wonderlic.
How much time did you spend with Vince talking about his new wife? I guess we'll have to tune in and find out.
That was a low blow.
Bianca and I didn't make it. You are very comfortable talking about how you met your wife, how much you love her, how important she is to you, and that's the reason that I asked the question. I've always admired that about you, that you have no problems whatsoever professing your love.
Well, the thing is, I got a new wife now. You know, me and Bianca didn't make it, so I moved on. We moved on. It was for the better for both of us, and but we are real, good friends. We are parents first. And the love I have for her, I have for her.
That's like a top 10 line in show history.
Roy, it's not only a top 10 line. I want you just to please play that again so that you guys can hear just the whimpering puncture of sound.
That's what that is. I just ran over to Roy and said, play that little sound.
The whimpering puncture of sound when he delivered that line, and I deflated like someone who had gotten the air taken out of him. You are very comfortable talking about how you met your wife, how much you love her, how important she is to you, and that's the reason that I asked the question. I've always admired that about you, that you have no problems whatsoever professing your love.
Well, the thing is, I got a new wife now. Me and Bianca didn't make it.
What was that? Is that the chair?
It's just such a great couple of sentences. The way that he phrased it. Well, the thing is, I've got a new wife now. Bianca and I didn't make it. Punt.
Is that him saying so?
Punt.
As like a
punt. That is the least confidence I've ever had.
Well, the thing is, I got a new wife now. Me and Bianca didn't make it.
What?